We appreciate coming, you know. We walk everywhere. Finally walk in.
Huh? Is this your group, Janet?
Yes.
Excellent.
We don't need to fret about it, we're good.
You look good.
Thanks.
You got
Hello.
You got an idea what you're selling.
Hello, my name is Stanley.
My name is Abby.
I'm Griffin.
And I'm Alex.
And we bring you lunch.
It.
I want to start off by thanking you guys for taking the time out of your busy schedules to come and listen to our presentation. Speaking of busy, who here has a hectic morning routine? Who is stuck between balancing kids and meetings? That's how we often forget the simple things in life, like forgetting to grab a lunch when you're running out of the door and your hands are full. How are we supposed to decide between missing out on work or going hungry? We have an answer for you. We set out to solve this issue by offering a lunch delivery service. We, unlike our competitors, we provide simple, quality lunches that actually satisfy. And when I say satisfy, I mean you don't have to steal Karen's pudding from the work fridge anymore. We want to focus on our simple lunches because while things like organic gluten-free quinoa may be what's trending, we want to give you guys food that you're actually going to want to eat because you enjoy the food, not because you can post about it on your health blog. We plan to revolutionize lunch, and we want you guys to join us on our journey to do so. If you guys are interested and want to hear more about what makes us unique and special, my colleague Alex Lee will tell you more about this.
As Stanley has said, a lot of people, especially those who are working, just do not have the time to make themselves a lunch in the morning. And it's one of those things that are easily forgotten until lunchtime comes around and oops, you don't have a lunch, so I guess you're just going to starve for the rest of the day. Now starving is not really a good idea because you get cranky and then no one wants to talk to you. So within like the short time frame that most workers have for like lunch, like for as a lunch break, like which is usually around 1 hour, that's not enough time for you to go home and make yourself a meal. There's not enough time to really go out to a restaurant, especially for far from it, and eat in. So that's why a lot of people look to delivery, like Grubhub, Uber Eats, DoorDash, etc., because they can bring the food to you and you can order in advance so that when lunchtime starts, you can start eating right away without any waiting. However, with the competitors that I just mentioned, the food they get it from, which are mainly fast food chains but include many other restaurants, the food isn't necessarily healthy. You don't really know how much sugar or salt they're putting in because their goal is to make the food taste good, but it's not really healthy. And we want to trend towards healthy because, especially during the winter, we've all gained a few inches around the sides, let's admit it. Especially when it comes to lunch, you want to eat something good, but you don't want to eat something just because it's convenient. You want to eat something that's good for you. Now, some of our other competitors that do deal with healthy food, like HelloFresh and Wise Apple, well, for HelloFresh, they deliver the ingredients to you, but you have to cook it. So there's not really any time in the day for you to actually make the food because it kind of goes back full circle because they gave you the ingredients, but that didn't really change anything because you still got to make it. And with, if you're juggling kids, if you're juggling meetings, there's just no time. But with Wise Apple, which is like another company that delivers pre-made lunches this time, well, look at the portion sizes. They're pretty small. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you tried hard enough and if you were hungry, you could eat the whole thing in one bite. Now, this is obviously marketed towards kids, but we wanted something that was like that, but a whole lot bigger, and that's what we are. With Lunchit, we offer things like sandwiches, soups, etc., that are not only like in the right size, but are actually fulfilling and come with a whole bunch of other sides that will help make your lunch experience a lot more enjoyable. The way it works is that customers in advance, they will place an order with us and we'll deliver an entire week's worth of food to their doorstep so that in the morning when they're busy, they can just grab a bag and go. There's no need to cook, there's no need to fuss. It's really easy and really simple. And I'm sure a lot of people who are especially time pressed will really like it. And the best part is that not a lot of other food vendors have portion control, for example. Like if you wanted 3 slices of tomato on your sandwich instead of 1, with our competitors like DoorDash, you can't really specify that. Especially since most restaurants won't really do that. But with us, you can choose however much you want. Want a lot of sides and a small entree, you can have that. If you want 2 drinks instead of 1, why not? It's all up to you, and we put choice back into lunch for you. However, with Lunchit, there's just a lot more than that. There's a lot more that goes on than just food, and now we will talk about how we can actually make this entire company an actual reality.
All right, so the financials, basically the backbone of our whole entire company. And I know you guys have been listening to pitches all afternoon, but I promise we're gonna make this entertaining, we're gonna make it fun. So let's start by breaking apart our market. We looked initially with our solution interviews and found that we would be most successful if we targeted the working class. So our TAM is right around 124 million working Americans. That's all across the United States. There's 124 million people that have some sort of job, whether that's part-time or full-time. Making that even smaller to our serviceable addressable market, we have 4.7 million full-time workers in Chicago. We wanted to make sure that we were going to target full-time workers because they have a designated period that they have to eat lunch every single day, so that would register as consistent for us. Now, even smaller is our market share, our closest potential, which is the workers in Naperville. There's about 73,000 workers in Naperville, and with that number, we know that there's a big customer segment that can use our product. All these numbers I got from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which is a fairly reliable data source. Now, taking the 73,000 workers in Naperville, multiplying it by our lunch expenditure, we get a grand total of $18 million in the potential market. Now, I know you're wondering, how in the world did you come up with $18 million as your potential? Well, if you take 50 weeks out of the year, allowing about 2 weeks for vacation, multiplying it by the 5 days a week that you would work, you get a grand total of 250 days out of the year. That's 250 days that you somehow have to bring lunch every single day. Now, if you take $10 as with what we would charge for each meal, multiply it by the 250 days a year, you get $2,500 that you would be spending personally on lunches a year. Then multiplying that by our market share, that's how we reach our grand total of $18 million in our potential. Now, we know that this is obviously a very big stretch and a very big reach, and we are not expecting to reach that, especially right away. But this does tell us that there's a lot of room for our company to grow and morph into that $18 million. Now, eventually down the line with our revenue streams, we want to come up with some sort of subscription service. We would have a silver, gold, and platinum option, each of them having different incentives. And ultimately, this would allow more customers to be dragged towards our business. Now our COGS, our cost of goods sold. How much does it actually cost to make one of these lunches? It's about $6. Griffin and Alex will talk a little bit later, but we have a sandwich option and a soup option for our MVP. And obviously the soup is going to cost a little bit more, but I think people are definitely going to want to pay for the soup, more for the soup because it is so good. And then our SG&A, we don't have any at the moment, but eventually down the line, we want to be able to have some sort of warehouse, some sort of kitchen designated specifically towards our business.
Alright, now for our MVP, we decided to make a basic, simple, and easy to use website that can take deliveries and orders from just about anybody who uses it. Now, we can track interest in our product and in our company because when people go on our website and they make an order, a confirmation email is sent to not only them, but us as well, telling us what they ordered and when they ordered it. Now, our sequence starts with you. Once we receive an investment, that's when we're going to be able to implement our idea. First, we have to go through getting all the basics for our company. We have to buy the food for the meals, we need cooking supplies, we're going to need gas for deliveries, and what we really want as part of our company as a staple would be paper bags that had our logo on it. So when we deliver our meals, people know who they're getting their meals from. Now, our website, like I said, is up and running right now, and you can make orders. But until we receive an investment, that's when we're finally going to be able to make physical deliveries with the actual food. We're planning on having our website fully functioning and up and running, with ready deliveries within about a week of receiving an investment. Now, with our MVP, we believe what our customers are buying is the convenience and the simplicity of our product. So with that, we're asking for an investment of $500 to cover all the expenses that I talked about already, with being food, cooking supplies, gas, and paper bags. Now, we want you to join us to revolutionize lunch.
And best of all, since right now we haven't really launched our company yet, we do have a trial over there, and it seems like all of you have already ordered chicken noodle soup. I'm conscious of it. It's already here. Talk about that fast delivery. Enjoy.
Thank you.
So inside the lunch, there's homemade chicken noodle soup. And then, this is actually my grandma's recipe, so it's pretty good if you want my opinion. And there's also freshly baked chocolate chip cookies.
Oh,
who made the soup?
This is not
I made the
fake.
soup.
Somebody else.
And the cookies too? Yes. No, I'm not.
Wow. I'm gonna try it right now.
Does anyone want the last one?
I'll take the cookie.
Mrs. Somerville.
Yeah, I'll
Give
take
Mrs.
it.
Somerville a
I'll
soup.
take it.
All right.
She put a lot of hard work in it.
Very good. And
Yeah, I literally just made it, so that's good too. Did anyone want a cookie?
I'll try one. I'll try a cookie. I'll share it with you.
Arch,
this is what they do at Shark Tank. They literally give them the product. Just to taste it.
The soup is wonderful.
You good?
really should.
Yes, you should.
Alrighty.
How'd you do this to the
Yep.
cookie? How's it so like
Doesn't
fluffy?
make us look like we're working hard.
I think she literally, you have 6 hour
Give
lunch
brand recognition.
Yeah.
or 7
Yes,
hour or
I've
whatever.
taken a couple pictures. I have 6 hour lunch, so I just went home during lunch
But how should
and
get our bags up
picked
there?
it all up.
Put the logo the other way.
You did this during your lunch hour.
Yeah,
Wow.
So where did you make it?
my house.
Oh,
So is that where you would actually start?
Yeah.
Making sure this so samples, your parents are okay with it?
Yeah, for sure. Well, this is all my own money that I've already put into like all the lunches and stuff. But
Okay,
I would be doing more of like obviously creating the lunch, making it, and then Alex would be more behind like the scenes with the website and getting all the orders to make sure that I know what I'm getting. And then I'd be giving them to Stanley and Griffin, and they would be delivering them.
okay. So you have the basic logistics already mapped out.
Mm-hmm.
And the $500 is basically to kind of kick you off and do your first delivery?
Yes.
Okay, so you're saying already on your website, you have commitments from buyers, from customers?
We actually haven't made that feature live yet, but as soon as we do get money, we know where we're at, we'll make it live.
So how will people know you're alive to say, hey, you have really good chicken soup? How are they gonna know to say, yep, I wanna sign up?
We already have a lot of social media pages going with, and obviously it's still a small following, but
Right.
we're building it up. And then with our individual social medias, I think we could definitely advertise it that way as well.
Okay.
And how Griffin was talking about before, with like the staple for our lunch bags, that's a kind of big thing that if we get the logo on it and get it out there, a lot of people will see it because they'll see somebody just have a lunch delivered and be like, oh wow, where'd you get that? I want to try one of those. So that's
Suggestion, actually, website, phone number on your bag. It's a neat little thing to go, cool, how do I find it?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
some way that they can get in contact with us kind of thing.
So, thinking ahead down the week, let's say you get the money, the seed money, you start actually launch the website, you're gonna start taking orders.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, you get your first order. How are you gonna fulfill it? You're in school.
That's the other logistics part that we are still in the midst of figuring out exactly like how we want to do it, when we want to like build our like structure around it, especially because we're in school and I have 6th period lunch, which is a lot later. So do we want to like skip part of school? Do we do that? We don't really want to skip school. So is there some way we can get them all pre-made and then have like a set time that we say we're gonna do deliveries of that sort?
And I know you mentioned that this was, you buy it like a subscription. So would you maybe deliver these on Sunday evening, maybe something like that? It's a
So like,
possibility?
with the subscription, I think that's kind of what we were thinking about doing in the future and like with our total company. Right now, just for the MVP, when you'd order, it'd only be like a one-time order that you're placing. So it'd only be one meal at a time that you could get. So with that, like we're definitely gonna be able to like put some restrictions on the website that says like if you order it before like if you order it after 11 like a.m., then you can't expect to get it like until after like 3 p.m. or like something like that, where there's like restrictions, so that way like we'll be able to have time to process all the lunches and actually like deliver it.
The subscription might work better because of where you are.
Yeah.
I'm also thinking, this is great, but how's it different than Panera or somebody else that delivers? And the subscription could be a differentiator of,
Yeah.
hey, you've got your meals for the week.
All
right?
set already to go kind of thing.
Great job, by the way, very well done, nicely packaged. You feel like you're in the right space.
Very professional.
I've looked at a couple businesses like this, and you look up Revolution, which actually went into schools, and now it's a big company, to try to get healthy food.
Yeah.
A couple of points. One is you can move these orders up. and say, we need them 24 hours in advance, we order. But the problems I've seen are twofold, which you've never brought up yet, is number one issue is safety, okay?
Yeah.
Food safety. So you have some liabilities as the creator of the food, and restaurants are, they have licenses and,
Yeah.
and people come in and check the food quality and they check them out.
Yeah.
You've got to go through all of that, and then there's even food delivery and how long it can be saved in certain locations. And if I remember correctly, schools won't let you come inside the school.
Yeah.
So you had to put it in the foyers and mark it and say, this is for Jean and she's in chemistry. So you just may want to look at some of those issues, because the idea is good,
Yeah.
but there are some roadblocks, and I want to see safety in the future. Because I'm trusting you, because I know you, that I'm going to have this soup.
Oh, we can find you.
If we get sick, they're gonna come after you
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff like that, so we wanna make sure that your counters are clean when you're cooking the chicken, right,
Oh, that- yeah,
salmonella
for
and all
sure.
that. So you wanna have that in your presentation in the future.
Okay.
Cause that's a big issue, and then delivery of it requires another food safety, permit, license, we
Yeah,
get
yeah.
one another business, to just transport it.
Yeah, okay.
Because this is why this market hasn't taken off, because there's some barriers.
Yeah, for sure.
But I love the whole, and then high school students, I would market more than you did.
Okay.
Because I would go out of my way. I wouldn't buy from Panera Bread if I was knowing I'm helping a high school student, because if I don't know the difference, I go to Panera Bread,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because they have the quality
name
and what it
is,
tastes like. So you want to market, I think, young adults doing
Okay.
this to make a difference.
Don't just market kind of convenience, but I think the whole nutritional value and those things are important to people as well.
Yeah.
So you'd be making, assuming, very nutritious food and homemade and all those things. I think that's a big plus for people.
I think you addressed the hangry part, right? Right, you did that well.
Yeah.
And the quality of food is very important. I think more and more people are paying attention to the quality of the food. I loved what you said about putting the choice back in food. I like that. So not only do I have a choice, but it's convenient and it's delicious. And so I think you can do, I love the lunch and eat it, love it. I like that, but when you said putting the choice back in lunch, wow.
Me too, I wrote it down. I thought
Yeah,
it was great.
I thought that was really, really good. And your price point was $10 per meal?
Yeah, obviously that number is definitely flexible, but we're trying to figure out with our solution interviews at least, like $10 seemed like the most reasonable average of prices.
Okay, and then would you tack on like delivery charge?
Yeah,
perhaps,
yeah,
or
yeah.
that?
One thing for me is, I don't work in the area, but I live here. And my wife and I opt sometimes, and our son as well. We have different schedules. We come and go at different times. We're not at home much. We don't work necessarily in Naperville that much. Is it the option if you do pre-delivery based upon a subscription that Rally is, you diversify the menu just a little bit to say more than just a luncheon, but more of like a dinner. I tell you, this is my early dinner right now. Because my wife's at a convention in downtown Chicago, she's not getting home too early. So, thank you.
No problem, anything I can do.
So, I mean, I would, it's great to lunch it, eat it, love it. I love that, the slogan. Anything that's short, snacky, and gets you right to the point, being an old advertising guy, I love it. The other thing is, just be prepared to kind of diversify the delivery to be more than just.
More, yeah, for sure.
Because that way you'll get guys like me.
And know that that challenge brings logistical issues. The benefit of centralized is it's one vehicle coming here and you feed 150. The challenge we had in a different business is going to 150 homes,
Different
turns you into a
places to try to
transportation
figure out,
company,
yeah.
right?
Logistics nightmare.
It becomes, it's not unsolvable, it just turns into a logistical issue
Yeah.
versus, this one is more of delivery. Once you get it here, the school, somebody has to change, they're not gonna deliver it to all the rooms,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. So,
So you gotta,
figuring that
they
out.
gotta come to the front lobby, it's all in the corners, you gotta bag. I love this too, on your MVP, I love the simplicity and
Yeah,
the look
you
of
do.
this. This is brilliant,
Thank you.
absolutely brilliant. I wouldn't want you to change that at all, that's what I want to buy.
Just add your phone number to your website.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about
Yeah,
the
put it on
logo.
the back.
I like this.
Right, yeah,
That's about
Like
it.
it's, yeah, like it's handwritten, I love it, it's
Yeah,
really
that's
well
wonderful.
done. Really well done. Thanks for the.
Thank you
guys
so
so
much.
much.
Yeah,